Hello and welcome to Northants Authors YouTube channel. I'm Morgan Bailey, one of the authors of Northants Authors, and just here to tell you a little bit about us. We are a cooperative of mainly self-published but also traditionally published authors who live within the county of Northamptonshire, England, and have books, whether it's ebooks or paperbacks, for sale. We attend local events and it's great meeting our public. And of course they love the fact that they can have books signed by us to keep and read themselves or to give as presents. This series is a little way of getting to know us better and hear extracts from our books. I hope you enjoy. We hope you enjoy them.
Hello. My name is Rosemary Sturge and I write historical novels. I've written three. The first two, one was set in 18th century Venice and the second one was set in England in the 17th century at the time of the English Civil War. My new novel, which I'm going to read to today, was set in 1860 in the Netherlands, in a town called Schiedam, where they made a great deal of gin. So I'm going to read a short passage from that now. This passage concerns a little boy called Tomas, who has run away from an abusive stepfather and is hiding in a place where he thinks no one will find him, which is the orphanage in the town. Two of the orphans have agreed to help him, and at this point in the novel, he encounters the schoolmaster, who is new and doesn't realise that Tomas shouldn't be there. Mulder, arriving rather late to take the class, caught sight of him in the corridor. "Hoi, you boy!" Terrified, Tomas froze on the spot. "Why aren't you in the schoolroom?" "I went to the privy, sir," Tomas whispered, wishing the tiles that lined the corridor would slide apart and swallow him. He didn't know who this man was, but seeing the cane in his hand, guessed this must be the new master. Mulder had never seen Tomas. He was wearing orphanage uniform. The new master assumed he must be a genuine inmate. "Come along then," he growled. "You're late." "I'm late myself. Regent de Hoop having stopped to speak to me as I came in. He's leaving almost immediately for Amsterdam, so on this occasion, boy, and on this occasion only, I excuse you." He placed his hand on Thomas's jacket collar and piloted him before him into the big schoolroom. The pupils, who had been chatting amongst themselves, the boys dipping small balls of paper into the inkwells and flicking them at their friends, the girls fiddling with one another's caps and hair, fell silent and rose to their feet. "Goedemorgen, Heer Mulder." "Goedemorgen, iedereen," replied Heer Mulder gravely. "Class, you may sit. Now, young man, where is your place?" There was no obvious empty seat that Tomas could see. The children sat on long benches with sloping desktops before them. Girls next to the window, boys by the door. Only Caspar alone sat at a small table at right angles to the teacher's own desk, fashioned at the right height for his wheeled chair to fit under it. Mulder repeated the question and added another. "Where's your place, boy? What's your name?" Tomas tried to open his mouth, but no sound emerged. "Sir, he's called Tomas, sir," piped up Saskia. "He's new, sir," drawled Caspar. To Thomas's astonishment, many of the orphans now nodded their heads vigorously. "He's new," they agreed. They were used to newcomers being suddenly thrust into their midst. "He ain't in our dormitory, though," supplied one of the boys, puzzled. He looked to be about Thomas's age. "That's 'cause he's infectious, Felix," said Saskia, leaning bossily across the dividing aisle. "He's got to sleep downstairs 'cause he's got crawlers." Under his skin, the worst kind, she added with malicious glee. Herr Mulder, who had been standing with his hand resting on the back of Thomas's neck, hastily removed it. "He can fetch a stool and sit by me, sir," Caspar offered. "I don't mind if he scratches himself. You only catch them off the bedclothes, you know, Saskia." Herr Mulder, whose expression suggested he knew nothing and wished to know nothing about the orphan's sleeping arrangements, signalled agreement. Thomas collected a stool from under the window and joined his friend. "Right," commanded the teacher, taking his cane in both hands and bending it back and forth to demonstrate how flexible it was, meanwhile walking up and down the room between the rows of desks. "Mental arithmetic. Felix, 7 times 8. Felix stuttered out the wrong answer. So did Klaus. So did Edward. So did Adria. Saskia got it right. "Caspar, 12 times 27. Thomas's mouth fell open in horror at the magnitude of this sum. But Caspar came straight out with the answer. Caspar knew all the answers. "Thomas, 5 times 5. 25, sir," Thomas stammered. "Correct. Mika, twice 12. The girl next to Saskia got that right and slouched on the bench with a relieved smile on her face. All the time, Herr Mulder strode back and forth with his cane in his hands, but even when children answered wrongly, as many did, and Thomas expected the cane to be applied, it never was. "All show," Caspar wrote on Thomas's slate when the lesson changed to spelling, and Herr Mulder was writing the words he wanted them to memorise on the blackboard. Then he whispered behind his hand, "He's pretending he's going to use that cane, but he won't. It's like he's pretending to be strict. It's almost like he's pretending to be a teacher." Since Thomas had never been to school before, he felt unable to express an opinion on Herr Mulder.